Hey everyone, and welcome back to the weekly Unreal Engine Twitch live stream. I am your host and community manager, Chance Ivy. I'm here with, finally returning back to the stream, technical director Mike Fricker. We've missed you very much.
Oh, great. I miss you guys.
And Ray, who we've worn out over the last 4 or 5 streams.
I'm still here.
I'm sorry.
Still
we had
breathing.
to bring him back in for the hold all this stuff.
I can feel so much love right now.
Yeah.
No, and by the way, Mike almost didn't make it. Snowpocalypse really kicking in.
Yep.
Yeah. So we beat the elements.
Yep.
So far.
Time.
Although I don't feel like now is the time to be tempting the gods.
Yeah, probably not, because there's something coming up.
3 days. 3
Yeah.
days.
We had a
4
good,
days, 5
good
days.
number of guys stay the night at the office.
Yeah, it was funny. We packed up on sleeping bags. We went over to Target, I think, and air mattresses. So we're good now.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So I don't think there's any more impending threats like that coming back anyway.
I sure hope not.
Anyways.
Are there any known volcanoes in the area, maybe? Some earthquakes?
No, we could probably build one, though, if we really tried.
Okay.
So we're going to talk over 4.7 since it's out now. Hooray.
Yay.
With actually an update coming soon, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. We should
Hopefully
have a
tomorrow.
hotfix tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hotfix coming out tomorrow
Lots
for
of
4.7.
good fixes.
So that'll probably be 4.7.1. Watch out for that.
Yep.
And we're going to talk over a couple things GDC. But first, we'll hop into some news. I don't have the blog up yet since everyone's kind of heads down for GDC, but Marketplace released this week. You may have seen roll across your Epic Games launcher. There's an Easy Door and Window system by Software Manager. It's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced turn-based tile toolkit by a name I cannot pronounce. I'm really bad at Eastern European or Scandic names, so I'm just not going to try. Simple Wall Run by John West. Industrial Prop Set by Pure Polygons, and 100+ noise texture pack. So go pull those today. Have fun. You'll see a full blog from John sometime in the next couple days.
Yeah, totally. That's coming out. And then 2 other things. Hopefully you guys saw we actually launched the Marketplace web portal.
I'm going to show
He's
it.
going to show it.
He's going to show it.
I'm not
Okay.
only going to talk about it.
All
We're
right.
going to show
Well, good. I want to ruin your whole agenda here.
All right, go.
We got that.
See those things up there? Just pick one and we'll start.
I don't know. What are notes? Notes are for amateurs. Come on.
All right, with that, Joe, can you hop us over to the news? Okay, great. Yeah, so with that, 4.7 is out. You can check out all the fun information about it here on our website.
So many things.
Yeah.
Release notes.
There's just, the release notes process is it's just so much fun, isn't it? I know.
It's a work in progress. Every release is pretty action-packed towards the end as we try to assemble all the release notes. But this has been our most comprehensive release notes ever, I think. And actually, before, I think, I don't want to stay on this too long, but previous release notes, as you get towards the bottom, especially the upgrade notes, things that are actually really important. It was kind of a little bit of a wasteland down there as far as quality control. And this time we have a good process and we went through everything, and it's hopefully a lot more clean and understandable.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. We actually have a release notes tool to help facilitate this whole process and track it as we go.
Yeah, isn't that like the Unreal Engine came up that way? It's like we needed a tool to build games. So it's like, how can we build tools for everything?
So our next engine is a release notes engine?
Pretty much, yeah. So if you guys are writing release notes, we'll see if we can build that into the
the visual logger, by the way. That thing looks awesome. I need to figure out how to use it. That looks like one of those things that once you figure it out, the visual debugging tool.
Yeah, I know. I would love to get my hands on
hugely
that.
valuable.
Yep.
Right? Cool. Yeah,
Super
so it's
awesome.
up there. So the hotfix, it's just a couple more crashes that were found by the community, right, I believe. And we're keeping an eye on those. I mean, we expect to have, as many hotfixes as it takes, honestly, as crashes are identified and whatnot. So
this is my favorite right here. View full release notes
Yeah.
after you scroll through 8 pages.
This was just a preview.
Yeah, this is the preview notes, or the preview of the release notes, not the preview release notes. So yeah, thanks for your patience on all the preview releases. The process actually went really great. We got so much great feedback from you guys on that week over week, and so we hope that was valuable to you as well. Dana was mentioning that she was parsing through the 127 pages of release notes on this, so 4.7 is not insignificant as far as an upgrade from 6.
Yeah,
so
it's easily our biggest release since the very first release.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, because it's like infinite release from not existing to to 4.0, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. And on to the next thing. What do we got here? Just a reminder about Unreal Dev Grants. We had this on the stream last week where Tim came on and talked about the grants program. It's I've got lots of submissions coming through right here, so really cool stuff. rolling across where we plan to hopefully give out the first set of grants at GDC next week.
Yeah,
Awesome.
if possible. Yeah.
And so yeah, we encourage you if you're working on something awesome in Unreal, Unreal 4.
Well,
you know,
and you've got the FAQ up now too, right?
Yep,
We've
yeah,
gotten
there-
all the same questions.
yeah, there's a FAQ in the forums
Okay.
right now, so you can hop in here and check that
Yeah.
out. We'll be working this into the web FAQ at some point, but we're still gathering this, and it's more of a living FAQ. You can check this on our website, or it's in announcements and releases right now in the forum. So
Yeah, I would say just having gone through some of the grants already, like definitely like a video or a prototype of some form is the most useful.
Yeah.
And then, sort of the less is more sometimes in the
Right.
description. I know some of you guys have given us quite a bit of text. It's good, but when we're sort of going through is just getting a quick sense of what the project is, what's cool about it, definitely helps the process. So
definitely, it allows us to get through some of these submissions more quickly. I mean, brevity and content, right? Like the more of
Yeah.
those two things you can really harp on, we'll be able to
Yeah.
parse through the backlog of submissions even more quickly. So,
Yep.
but super awesome. We're real excited about it. We hope you are too. Please take advantage of it.
Yeah, it feels like the reaction to this has been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I know a few friends that were really excited when they saw that this
yeah,
is possible. so-
which is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were doing a pass yesterday. I was surprised, like, holy crap, that's an awesome thing. I didn't even realize this was happening or it could happen, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and we're looking forward to as we can help draw attention to more and more of these projects as well.
Yeah, cool. And Alexander's dropping those links into the chat, so you can check those out there too if you miss them.
Thanks, Alexander.
So cool. With Marketplace,
what
as
is
Ray
this?
mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, we've got Marketplace on the web. A lot of you
Yep.
guys have been asking for this for quite some time now, and so this is our first step towards making good on that promise.
Yep.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
you can-
so it's searchable now, which is great.
Da, da,
You can see, yeah, we're experimenting with the first version of rating for content and submitting back feedback to sellers, which will be helpful with sort of knowing what's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny too when you rate. They're kind of locked right now. So it's like Devero in the chat, or W3 Abatron.
Mhm.
He came and rated one of his packs at 3 just to see what would happen. He's like, "Oh no, I can't change it." So that was
Yeah.
pretty funny. But yeah, so we got ratings in here and stuff like that. So any feedback on this, please feel free to shoot it
Yeah.
our way. Same thing, we're logging bugs. It's got some issues with it right now.
Yeah, and some of the next steps, like, we want to get to the same parity of features in the launcher marketplace and the web marketplace.
Yeah.
And also getting it so if you purchase something here, you can just click through and it brings up the launcher. You can bring it up in the engine right away. Which, by the way, adding content into your project in 4.7 is even easier now, right?
That's right.
Because you can actually do it straight from the content browser.
Super awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll continue polishing that workflow.
Cool.
And then also, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff for sellers, getting actual, dashboards up so you can, eventually run your own promotions, make it easier to change price and all that good stuff. So
Cool.
all that is coming down the pipe.
Hey Joe, I'm getting a couple of responses that were a little quiet. Just
Uh-oh.
just heads up. Anyway, we
Yeah, it's going to be
have
huge. Just being able to
it.
hit these assets from a Google search now, having everything show up online is going to
Or
be
even
so
if
convenient.
if you're a marketplace seller too, right? Like you can,
Yeah.
hey, here's my stuff. You can link it out to people. Drop it in
Oh, yeah.
an
Yeah.
email
Yeah,
or
it's
Skype,
huge.
those kind of things. So.
Cool.
All right, so next thing we got here is, it's kind of a minor feature, but I'm excited about it. So on our blog, we've got blog comments now with really 24th century up and down votes as opposed to the thumbs up, thumbs down. So yay. It's kind of a...
We've changed icons.
The icon is.
Yay.
It's hyper cosmetic, but I was really excited when I saw it this morning. I was like, yes, it's finally made it.
All right.
So, all right. Reminder about the Game Jam t-shirt design. That ends later this week. So if you're still working on something like that, please hop into the thread in the forums and drop your design. This is for the winners of the Game Jams, even retroactively. We've got to get back to the October jams that we own. We owe shirts to you right now. I know we're really far behind, and so we're sorry about that. We've had UI designers hopping on other things all the time. So hop in and help us make this shirt. We will thumbs up. All right.
No, you're going to up arrow now.
I will up. Sorry.
No more thumbs
Yeah,
up.
That's right. I apologize. I will upvote your forum thread that you can't do yet. All right. So you may have seen the news too that we've got a Leap Motion plugin. It's
Yep.
their official plugin for UE4 built now into the source. Coming soon. I don't know when exactly, but coming soon into the binary.
Yeah,
right? That's the plan?
we had hoped to get it into 4.7, but I think there were just too many moving parts. So definitely with 4.8 and potentially even sooner. But yeah, this is pretty awesome. They have that basically. I believe it's just a component you drop into your project, and all of a sudden that gives you hands with physical constraints and all that good stuff in place.
Yeah, and since it's in the source too, like if there's functionality you want to add or modify, you can go nuts and
Yep.
Totally.
make those adjustments yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super convenient because it's you just pull it down and it's ready to go. And we're actually going to have them on the stream the week after GDC.
Oh, kick ass.
We're going to try to dial them in. Not really sure how that's going to work yet. We're still working out the details of dialing people in. But yeah, they're somebody from Leap is going to help walk us through it, and we're going to do a live demo of it with this Hollow game, I believe. So
Cool.
stuff there. And let's see what we got. Oh yeah. So DirectX 12 is doing the DirectX Quick Start Challenge with us at GDC. Their booth there is going to have a couple of stations for you to get your project running on DirectX 12. So if you're going to be at the show, bring your project. It's version 4.6 built on the binary right now, just kind of for brevity's sake, on the floor. We don't want to have to do any compiling of anything. They want to see you getting your project plugged in, running on DirectX 12, and they'll have engineers there to kind of help out if anything, is kind of squirrely. But from what we've seen, I mean, it's pretty,
Just works.
plug and play,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So definitely do that. We got an epic swag pack for somebody that we're going to give away in a raffle at the end. So if you're at the show, please come by and do this. It'll be super cool.
Yeah. Get all your questions answered by the people who are writing that code.
Absolutely.
Cool. Oh, we actually have we're talking at GDC.
Yeah,
GDC.
so yeah, this is one of many probably blogs or announcements you'll see about talks at GDC. These are the ones that are not in our booth, not in our sponsored
These are
theater.
Epic developers doing GDC talks, right?
Yeah, so got Josh Adams, Smedis, Jeremy Ernst, people you've seen on the stream before, people you've seen at WWDC, Zach Balika, sound designer, Wyeth Johnson, Celia Hodent, our UX director. So all kinds of cool stuff in there. I'd go through all of these, but it's kind of an exhaustive list. You can check it out on our blog right now. If you'll be at the show, we urge you to go check any of these out. Some of the stuff that Smedbrook's doing, like with GL Next, I'm kind of excited about that, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are all really good speakers. I think that if you guys can attend any of these, they'd definitely be good talks to go to.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeremy's a fan favorite here. I mean, every time we get him on the stream, people just
Oh.
love hearing him talk about his tools. So,
Jeremy's okay, I guess.
yeah, I guess he's all right. I'll let him know.
Well,
Joe, we got the thumbs up that we sound good now.
Okay.
You're awesome, man. Stay rad.
What I want to know is what color is Josh Adams' hair going to be this year?
Right now it is, what is it, like
Like
that?
an amber?
Yeah, it's really dark right now, I thought. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. If he bleaches it now, it will be amber.
Yep.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. So there's Yannick Young in the forums here is working on a collaborative
This thing's crazy.
editing tool, right? And so I'm not sure if we've shown it on the stream before. So if I haven't, if this is your first time to see it, definitely go check out this forum thread on it. It'll be in the recap afterwards, so you can kind of see as well. But it's basically got two versions of editor running where two people are collaborating on the same level together. What I really wanted to point out here is A, it's cool, but B, he just announced today he's got a Trello board for features. So if you have a Trello
Awesome.
account, you can go actually upvote, downvote, or see kind of what you
that's
what
very
you
cool.
want to see him build into the thing. It's still a work in progress, of course, but he's super active in the forum thread. He's on in one of our Skype groups too.
Looks like he's in chat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he here? Hey, he is.
Hey, nice work.
Yay, good stuff. So, anyway, definitely go check that out.
Yeah, I think that sort of feature is totally something that we're interested in as well. It's a huge undertaking, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really hard to do that in a robust way.
Yeah, I love it when we see those community projects. We're like, oh, we wanted
Yeah.
to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it looks. When we saw that, we're just like, holy crap, this would be so fun to do this.
Well,
But-
it's even better when we talk about it. I was like, that'd be too hard. And then somebody else goes and does it. And you're like,
I know. It is
yeah, someone's like, too hard, LOL.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in the past, like UE3, we had live propagation, so you could push changes in the editor to a running console device.
Yeah, and Josh Adams had the
Yep.
Unreal remote tool as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
remote.
Unity
yeah,
remote. I think that still works with UE4. But pushing, like you can move lights around
Yep.
and you'd see it update on a
Mirroring in
running
real time,
game on the
yeah.
console. So that's similar to what I presume how this tool works too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to bulletproof that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is.
I'm really excited to see what comes of it, right? Because there's a lot of, what is it? Paired programming, it's like a thing it's a terrible word for it, but a lot of guys I've seen work together on
Yeah.
the same class,
Sure.
It's like bringing that to the editor level.
Well, I think it's pretty cool, especially with our multiple levels. I could have my level, you have your level. We're seeing the updates in real time without necessarily trampling each other, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's fascinating, especially for the smaller teams prototyping.
Yeah.
Not ever having the option of being co-located, right?
Yeah, adding more collaboration features is totally something on our wish list that
Yeah.
we really want to do. You mentioned the multi-level sort of granularity for sort of people aren't trampling each other's work, but like that's something that we have big plans for too. Is just kind of figuring out how to decouple sort of level streaming from level authoring. Or right now they're kind of one-to-one in Unreal.
Yeah, and that's some of the stuff you saw in 4.7 around like larger worlds and driving more density and also anytime, like a big reason we want to replace Matinee someday, right? Is it's probably the least parallelizable
Yes.
workflow right now in the engine, you know?
It's really hard to get a group of folks working on a large cinematic, as you know, we run into this all the time.
Oh, Yannick's really calling us out. He's saying, too hard, I'm a student. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we got to try it then.
I guess we're all students until
Students of life.
Yeah.
It's always one of those features that you can get it up and running, but in the past we've had a hard time making it like something that
Like
we would
bulletproof.
trust. Like where, you know, that's always the challenge with that one.
Yeah, we fight ourselves on that a lot too. It's like, oh my god, it'll have all these edge cases. Well, we can't even get started.
Yeah.
But sometimes the thing you need to do is just get a prototype working, and then you realize, yeah, we can fix the edge cases.
That's where the community is so inspiring, right? Like we're just like,
it calls
all kinds of awesome things.
Calls our bluff, right?
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah.
There's features that we had like shelved for years, and we see the community do like, oh my, like we should have done that.
It's the same thing as like Linux editor. It's like, hey, we're doing a Linux, we want to do Linux editor, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
yes, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait for you.
I've had the thought process a couple times when we're arguing of like if she do feature or how the feature should look. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna create an anonymous GitHub account. I'm gonna go in there, submit the pull change or pull request myself.
Yeah, and then whatever
Make
that
it
is
happen.
gonna end up in like the you know,
the
the
community
engine
spotlight,
contributor.
and then I'll be a big reveal like Superman. It was me the whole time.
And then you'll be the only Epic employee that has like an engine contributor badge underneath your other one on the forum.
Someday.
Joking,
Someday.
Joking, but I was actually over the holiday break. I was tempted to do something like that because I'd rewritten the XML importer because FXML node class in C++. It's a little bit slow. It's fine. It works great, but it's a little bit slow. I had a huge file to parse, so I rewrote it. And I was like, oh, like, it works super fast, but I didn't quite have the time to polish it in my spare time. Yeah. So I was like, I could just submit this and like let the other guys fix it up.
Awesome.
Totally mean to do. I didn't do that.
That is so funny.
But I was tempted.
All right.
All
Cool.
right.
So, anyways, multi-edit's freaking awesome. We're excited. And hopefully, like I said, that's something we're looking forward to over this next year as well. Our own ideas of collaboration. I think it's a huge part of the engine for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. So
All
where
right.
are we jumping into next?
That's it for the news. So now we are going to show the Game Jam the highlight video.
Love is a battlefield.
Yeah. So Love is a Battlefield was the Game Jam theme for February. That was the
Are you
month.
playing music?
I hope that this is a full
This
video.
is a video, right?
No.
Maybe you got VLC or something?
Oh yeah, is there VLC on this computer?
Just right click and see.
Do you know?
Open with.
You could zip it up.
There you go.
There we go.
Aha.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see.
Now we
All
look like professionals.
And Joe, there is sound on this video if you got it. You got it. Great. Perfect.
Ah, yes.
Oh, cool.
Hey.
This is awesome.
It's all, everything's puns now,
Shades
guys.
of hay.
Friend zone. Aw.
Nice.
Still so sad.
It's a cool, what the heck?
This is not gonna
Oh, so what is the context for the game jam? Or
be.
the,
So it's Love is a Battlefield.
yeah.
Is the theme.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Is how long?
It was Thursday
yeah.
through Thursday for stream through Sunday night. So it's a little over 3 days. He's turning people
Shooting.
on. You get it?
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Cherub warfare.
Sure.
Call of a broken heart.
Awesome.
I laughed so hard when I saw that. And then Benatar, the music video experience.
Nice.
The banner almost had a picture of Pat Benatar in it.
Aw. Oh, you're flipping. Nice.
Oh,
That's pretty violent.
that's
Yeah.
a little gross.
little darkness for Cupid.
Oh man, yeah.
Something factor.
Lord of Roses. You're supposed to be avoiding her, but she didn't want to get me that last video. So this one, yeah, you're actually trying to stop levels of Battlefield from playing. So if you get security.
Oh, you're like breaking backstage or something?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Whoa. Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Reminds me of Vanquish.
Yeah, totally.
Gosh, Vanquish is so good.
Yeah, game was great.
Still in play.
Oh, Ray, dude, we need to get Vanquish in a
Right.
360 up here or something.
This is ridiculous.
Giant Club Simulator, yes.
Yeah.
Is that Colonel Sanders?
And then we have Jack Sparrow throwing
the
bombs
love
at
and
these
Jack?
women.
What the hell? I don't know what happened, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not enough love energy. That happens to the best of us.
Especially this week.
Yes. Maybe a little tired from the GDC crunch.
This one's clearly love related.
Spy Hunter kind of game.
Well,
It was like Paperboy meets GTA, 'cause you have to like deliver stuff.
Oh,
good.
that's pretty cool stuff.
Little love bugs.
Yeah. Wow.
Love and truffles.
This is awesome.
Oh, is that like a truffle farm?
This one's really cool 'cause you just click them and they explode, and it feels really good and makes really cool
It's
sound.
good feedback.
Yeah, it's like on a mobile game that would be super cool. Just like.
Oh, what was the Molyneux game they made?
Oh yeah, with the big cube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What was it just called, the cube or something?
I don't know. I played that for about like 10 minutes. and I was
Curiosity.
like-
Curiosity.
I was
What-
like,
what's inside the
"There's
cube?
So many things to click. To tap.
Whoa. A ghost in Minefield. Oh, cool. Nice.
Alright. Okay, cool. Little
Old puzzler.
duo puzzle. What
Right,
the-
don't fall in love. You have to collect beans and beer and stuff and fart and burp.
Oh, so this
So
is
your
my
lo- your
my
true
early
love actually
20s.
goes
Yes.
down, yeah.
Oh, this looks too complicated for me already.
Yeah.
Nice. That's great participation.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So it's we had 40 total submissions.
Mhm.
So yeah, super awesome work. Really, really excited about that. We'll probably put the announcement for the March Jam out. Gosh, I guess we need to do it early since we're gonna be at GDC next week. But yeah, so you'll see that shortly. So with that, let's get to.
Are we gonna do the announce at GDC in our live stream?
We're not gonna announce the theme. The theme will
Okay.
be the week after.
Okay.
But we just need to get the post up to let people know when it'll be.
Cool.
We're
All
gonna be
right.
streaming from GDC, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Basically, everything we're doing, I think, is going to be streamed one way or another.
Nice.
Yes.
So,
All right, so let's see what I got here.
all right, is this the
Oh,
multiplayer?
we'll play some now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I won't need you for this one, but.
Okay.
All right, we are.
here we go.
Yeah, we're good. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Where's my mouse? I've lost my mouse. Everything's wrong.
Oh, there you go.
Should I full screen it? Oh no.
Just Alt Enter.
There we go. All right, so
Okay.
Call of a Broken Heart. This is from Marcin Matuchik. So enter to start. So there's a full cutscene, where his girlfriend breaks up with him.
We don't get any sound.
I know, it's really sad. I'll read it for you. It's over. Wait, what? Goodbye. Don't call me again. But why? Am I doing okay?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
It could have been worse. Could have been worse.
So now we're going inside, where we have to fight his broken heart. So I have to throw like and left and positivity.
Remember
and-
the good
and-
things.
And not get hit by hostile. Take
Trouble.
that joy bomb. A cute and a friendship bomb and a dear bomb.
Wait, so do you actually get to win her back, or well,
Well,
you currently have no
hey,
skill.
Spoilers. I'm working.
Are you can come on?
I'm still beating him.
Don't you know how to lead the target?
Well, it only clicks me on the ground, and I want to be able to jump shoot.
You're losing it.
Oh,
You're
dude.
really not gonna do this, are you?
I'm gonna
Dude,
die.
come on.
You didn't practice this once.
I know.
Hey, I played this a lot. This one's tough. I died a lot. You can play the next one if you want.
Maybe if you had some skill.
Oh, man, broken heart.
Aw.
Sadness wins again.
Nope, not this time. you can always come back. All right, I'm gonna beat it. I just want to see if I can get her back.
Feels like it needs like a losing story too, where he like
Yeah.
hits the bar or something.
Oh gosh,
Uh-oh.
I got lost in that pile of
Yeah.
giblet.
Clipping and arteries, I guess. Ah. This is. I give this one crazy points for best use of text interactor. Dude, you really aren't that good at this, are you?
There's
Did he-
some kind of sorting thing with the like. They don't draw. They draw on top of each other.
All right.
All right, well, I'm not very good at that, so I'm gonna move on to something else.
Okay.
Anyway, so really cool stuff. Thanks, Marcin, for putting that in, and we will hop into the next one.
Cool.
Congratulations, if I can figure out how to close VLC. There you go. All right. So the second one we got here is...
Dual Souls.
Yeah. Run. So yeah, Dual Souls. So this is one I'll need your help with, Mike.
Oh, sweet. All right.
So Dual Souls is like a puzzler game where one of us. Oh yeah, you're WASD and I'll be the
Oh, I
so-
see.
So I'm
So-
blue and you're pink.
Oh,
Sorry.
why
So
am I
you,
pink?
you have to do it at the same time.
So yeah, well yeah. One
Oh,
of us,
within the
no,
time
we
limit.
have to touch each other. So I have to figure out which one is. Okay, so yeah, you go down on the. There you go.
And he'll come touch you. Aww.
Out of time, so we gotta
Oh,
retry.
okay.
All
I
right.
get it now.
All right.
So you have to open that gate,
Got it.
and I'll hang out and wait for you. I'll wait for you, Mike.
Mm.
All right.
Ah,
Nice.
Okay.
And then so now we've got. Let's see.
Avoid the black stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Just-
And
no,
then
you
what
ran
did
right
you
into
do?
it.
I did.
Chance just
We
directly
gotta
into
scoot
it.
around.
I had to show people the lose mechanic.
I like the Zelda hearts at the bottom.
I know, those are great.
It's like, you know, you teach them how you have to lose. You just let them run into it, and they learn. It's
No,
game design.
I think we've established you're pretty terrible at games. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So
You
you,
gotta
have
let
to
him
me out?
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And then that.
No. Oh, over here. Over here.
Oh,
No. No.
No,
Go to the
it's
top
me,
one.
It's me first.
You gotta hit both those. There you go. Oh, you teleport.
Whoa.
well.
Oh, neat.
And
No,
then.
I'm gonna let you-
No, you gotta go touch him.
Yeah.
Go touch.
you gotta-
Hurry.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
All right. Level complete. Mike, you're pretty good. At
Yeah, I'm great at games.
You're a great partner.
The success animation is pretty fun too.
Oh no.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm great at games.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you brag. You die.
All right.
Oh, wow.
I was holding the button down. I
Immediately
didn't
died.
expect it.
Is this the
gosh.
level where
Oh my gosh.
he ran out of time to make more levels, so this isn't actually beatable?
Yeah, it's one of those. This will teach them.
Oh god, don't mess it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Got this.
All right, we'll get a couple more in here. Oh, okay. So
Scoot over there,
see if I
Yeah,
can get
and
to
then
this.
well, no, yeah,
There you go.
and then go teleport,
Dink.
and then you switch, and now you gotta do the same thing again, right?
Oh yeah, I'm letting you over to that one.
And,
Look at that.
and now you can touch.
All right.
Lens flares.
So that
Yeah.
is
Seems cool.
awesome.
That was really cool.
Yeah, good idea.
Dual Souls. And the last one we've got here. This one is probably my favorite. It's got so much character to it, and I don't know why. I just feel so good when I play this. All right. So this is
Here we
stay
go.
with me. Okay, so we have to stay close.
Switch it over, Joe.
If we move over, then we start to lose our life. So we have to stay close to keep our life back up.
But
Okay.
but
so,
the world's gonna break you apart.
How do we advance?
So we'll push spacebar to start, but up is jump.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. So don't fall in a hole and die.
Sure.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
It gets fast.
Yeah.
So if you get separated, yeah, you both die.
But yeah, see, for as long as we're connected, we get the score goes up.
Yep. And our health doesn't drain.
Yep.
Oh, we lucked out with a good level here.
Yeah, this is
the
great.
autopilot.
Oh, look at that procedural design.
Yeah.
Ah, you taunted it. See what happened?
But see, so you can't go through blue doors, but I can,
Ah.
and I can't go through red. So swing through that, see if we get more points.
Nope.
Nope, it's just there. It's
almost
just there to
died,
teach
almost
you.
died,
I don't
almost
want to do that.
Oh,
then.
that's cool. Pretty good.
I don't want it
Whoa,
though.
I'm going this way. Oh no!
Anyway, I think my high
Yep.
score playing with just left and right hand is about yeah, right around 40, 50. So
Oh.
clearly, I'm the best. All right.
That's fun.
Anyway, so really cool stuff. We're reaching out to those teams to get you guys the rest of your Game Jam codes. A lot of the participants should have already got at least the first blast of the month subscription codes. There were 5 or 6 teams that haven't sent me their information yet, so I'll be reaching out to you guys individually over the next 24 hours or so to get those out. But congratulations to all the winners. Super cool stuff. We can't wait to see what you come up with in March. I think we're like almost at 200 total Game Jam games now since we started in October.
Yeah.
That's super awesome. I'd love to see where we are next year. We can break that 1,000 mark.
Yeah.
Gonna have an all-stars battle of the winners.
We should, yeah. Well, it's funny. We got a lot of repeat offenders. Like the second game, that was the 50 Shades of Hay. It was like 2 different winning teams came together to make
Yeah,
that.
no,
So-
they're useful. Like, even though I never complete anything, it at least gets me started every time.
Because I never complete anything.
Yeah.
Jetpack Jam for Ray.
Well, that'd be awesome. I might have to complete that one.
You already
No,
have.
with blueprintable components, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
That's
should
all you
totally
can
do an epic live streamed game jam.
Yeah.
We've talked about it multiple times. Oh, also on that note too, some things have changed about GDC, and Ray and I will not be doing our game off on the floor.
It was not deemed cool enough, apparently.
So
the bar has been raised.
somebody has made a decision that Ray and I weren't cool enough.
Yeah,
And
sorry. But, we could do it anytime.
They could be right, but probably not. And
Who do they know? They're not.
yeah. So we'll make that up to you guys on a stream soon. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we could do that just one off for anybody who wants to watch the train wreck in live.
Yeah, and so with that too, is there anything else about GDC before we hop into 4.7 that you maybe wanted to cover?
Yeah,
Anything?
no.
Just
So
come see us at GDC at the
yeah,
booth.
so like I said,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah.
got the giant booth. We'll have 8 or 9 community games there, front and center. We'll have the engine. Tons of Epic developers there, ready to talk to you and answer all the questions.
We've got the community members that are coming out with us
Yep.
too. A lot of you guys in chat are actually going to be there as well.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we'll have lots of cool stuff. We've got lots of talks. I think, just and keep an eye on our blog and our news channels. We'll be getting all the schedules up as they're finalized.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a few more announcements to come, and it's going to be a good next few days, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun just coming out, get to meet the developers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us out there.
Yeah, I think us three will all be aside from meetings, we'll be at the booth pretty much
Yeah.
the whole time,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
talking with people. Should be
Yeah,
exciting.
it's one of the best parts. I look to events like this all the time, right? Because it's funny that you get to see people who actually, usually they're pretty friendly and appreciative of the good things, but it's also a great time to talk through some of the feedback and the criticisms as well. So
Yeah, I think this will be markedly different than last year. Last year, we launched at GDC, so a lot of people coming to the booth, they were shocked that it was out.
Yeah.
So they hadn't used the tool yet or
Well,
anything.
yeah. Well, it was so funny. So many people come to the booth and they're like, "Yeah, how much does it cost to get this thing, anyways?"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're like, point to the sign.
No, because we had no signs,
Yeah.
right? Like that's how hot everything came in last year. So yeah, no, I think it's great. And on the flip side, you get to meet a lot of the engineers that have written the systems that you're using, right? So, like Lena on the animation, she'll be there. James Golding, he's responsible for all the broken stuff. He'll be there.
Yeah. But
I mean, all the
But even like Nick Whiting, the Blueprint lead, right? Like,
Yeah, and
I
VR
haven't even met
guru.
him. I'm excited about that.
You haven't met Nick?
What?
Yeah. I haven't met Nick yet. He hasn't been here.
How does
How is that
happen?
possible?
Nick has not been here like
Oh,
in a
okay.
year, and I haven't been to
Crazy.
Seattle. You guys won't let me go to Seattle because there's too many cats.
There's cats in Seattle.
There's
The whole office is just
That's
infested
all
with
it
cats.
is.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
That's
yeah.
all it
Sorry, I
is.
forgot our Seattle office obsessed with cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They basically built the office just for cats.
Yeah.
The Slack channel is nothing but cats. There's a Slack bot that all it does is curate cat pictures and post them. That's all the chat is. It's incredible.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's
so
not a joke.
we will be there.
It's true.
It's true. That's how we keep ourselves sane.
They
I
actually
guess.
made a new channel just so that people could
Just for
actually
chat.
talk.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember. Well, at some point I went in there and I declared dog warfare on it. I started posting a bunch of puppy pictures and retaliation.
But I think you were still overrun.
The
There's
Yeah.
just
bot.
too many.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
bot.
Yeah.
Oh well, such is the internet.
All right, with that.
We were
4.7?
was talking
You
about
wanna do that?
4.7. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it. So it's out. It's a little different than normal because normally I could come on and talk about a release right before it comes out or right at the beginning. So we'll talk about some of my favorite stuff in 4.7 and some of the coolest features, and maybe some of the features that weren't quite advertised as well in the release notes. But there's still some cool stuff in there that I want to talk about. And then also talk about some of the 4.8 features. Some really cool stuff going into 4.8 too.
I know. Aren't we terrible? Like we just released 4.7, and we're already going to start talking about 4.8.
Yeah, we just keep on going.
Yeah, basically 4.7. We had to. The only reason we just shipped it is so we could start working on 4.8, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like 4.8 has been in development for over a month now.
Yeah.
like a month and a half or so.
Yeah, we kind of changed our release plans of 4.7 on the fly
Yep.
to make room for mainly for the new component enrolled workflow that we can't quite figure out what to call it. it's one of the biggest challenges. But
Yeah, yeah. This is an interesting release because, originally we were planning on shipping 4.8 around this time, and we ended up changing the plan a little bit and going with a more stable 4.7. We hoped, but taking some of the big features that we had planned for 4.8 that we really, really wanted to get in there, and merging those in and trying to polish and stabilize them as part of the 4.7 build. So it was a little bit weird with all these preview releases, but it was also very helpful. I think we learned a lot by doing so many preview releases.
Yeah, no, I think it's been a great process, and like I said earlier, we're keeping an eye on all the community reports there. Stephen Ellis and his team, and Alexander, those guys,
Yep.
and we expect to ship as many hot fixes as necessary as we find new issues and whatnot. So because we want to make sure with 4.7, like some people, we feel strongly it's a well-rounded version of the engine. You can more than easily ship an awesome game, and I think some people are definitely planning to do that. So we don't want to leave you hanging. So even while we're going after 4.8, we're still committed to making sure 4.7 is stable and getting the updates it needs.
And on that too, just a quick reiteration on Steven's blog post for 4.7, with the known issues list and all that stuff. Like, keep checking into those things. He's been really super awesome at keeping pretty much the state of the build, right? Like up there all the time. So. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, and another thing we're talking about too on 4.8 is giving ourselves a little bit more development time as well, especially since we've got things like GDC next week. But we want to make sure we're not just arbitrarily rushing to the next release, but instead really figure out, okay, here's where we got with 4.7, here's the features we feel really strongly about making for 4.8, and then let's do the math, figure out exactly how much time that'll be. So I expect that over the coming weeks we'll be able to share more and more of that as it starts to solidify on our side. I know Katie did do a round of updates on our public roadmap on the Trello board at least.
I saw that today.
Yeah, so that's a good indicator of some things that are just naturally in flight. But I would expect probably even more of those updates a little later in March as we get down there. So.
And another reiteration on the public roadmap. I mentioned it before, but I think it's been a bit since we brought it up.
Hey, we have a public roadmap.
Yeah, yes, it exists. Go. No, the public roadmap gets updated, about once a month after after planning meetings, and so I just got a message from Katie that she just wrapped it up like while we've been chatting. So
great.
It should be as up to date as you can check it out now.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. All right. So 4.7. What's the first thing you want to talk about?
Okay. So. Talk about some. Oh wait! First thing, I always do this. So a lot of awesome community contributions. We had like something upwards of 40.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull that up.
I want to give a special shout out to Sebastian Rombots because we have the Git plugin, his awesome Git plugin that he had released to the community, and he'd been maintaining for a while. He graciously submitted it as a pull request for us to integrate, and we reviewed it, worked with him for a little bit, got it integrated. He was a great help, so thank you so much, Sebastian. Awesome job. We love the Git plugin. It's still kind of beta, but it's enabled by default in 4.7. If you have a Git repo, you can put your project in a Git repo folder, and you can use the source control drop down on the toolbar and connect it, and be good to go. And we'll be looking out for the community feedback, and also working with Sebastian and figuring out kind of where that goes next and helping to maintain it here too.
Cool. So yeah, here's the community contributors. We've got some, usual suspects like your Aller and Rama, and Stephen Whittle.
Can you pronounce all those, please?
I can start. We got Bozaro.
Oh, you're cheating.
Yeah, I am. Arnie Bezuzian, Black Phoenix, Code Tackler, Derek Van Vliet, Fazon Maron. That one's tough.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Jesus Fernandez, Lucas
How do you know
Baran.
it's Jesus? Maybe
Hey,
maybe it's Jesus.
Yeah, Innoside's on here. Cool. He just
Innocide?
had a Game Jam game we just showed. So.
Oh, cool.
Cool. So let's see what else we got
Quad
here.
tree.
Moritz Warnke.
That's the one I can say.
The Codes, Michael Aller, who streamed all the Game Jam games like a boss.
Yeah.
Slanopotamus, 3D Lover, Pierre Deck, Quad Tree, Rama, Robert Wallace, who's done quite a few as well. I think he's been on like 5.
Yeah.
5 of our 7. Yeah. Scrapion, Simon Taylor, Stephen Whittle, Tobias, and Kuro, and Sebastian Robots, of course. So cool. Awesome work. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this release was actually kind of a little bit bottlenecked on us because we were also busy getting the GDC builds together. But I think next release we'll have even more. We certainly have a lot of pull requests open and or in flight with developers right now.
And we were also offered 2 weeks worth of break too, right? So I think that
right.
Preview 1 hit in December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird release, but yeah, thanks so much for all that stuff. So want to talk quickly about HTML5 since this is the
Mhm.
first release with HTML5 available in the launcher build of the
The
engine.
binary, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we should talk real quick. Like the launcher build of the engine, we want all of the features in there. Like ideally, like you're
Mhm.
not shouldn't have to go and recompile the engine to get
Yeah.
important features. So kind of sometimes we keep features in experimental or beta and out of the binary release just while they're kind of still being tested and we try them out. But more and more we just want everything in the launcher build. Like I responded to a thread today, like a guy was trying to get dedicated server builds done with the launcher, and I was like, oh yeah, sorry, we don't have support for that yet. And then
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else that's on our list to support at some point.
Yep.
And it's mainly just blocked on the fact that we don't have modular downloads from the launcher.
Yep.
Yeah. So we don't want to go and throw every possible static library into the launcher build because the
Yeah,
download
it's
will end up like
gigantic.
it's already kind of portly, and
Portly,
yeah,
that's-
it's a big. It's a
That's such a
Wait,
good
didn't you
word
call
for
me
it.
portly the other day?
Yeah, we're trying to make the download reasonable, but every release we keep adding more stuff, like HTML5 added a lot of
Well,
download
and
size.
debug symbols really caught us too.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. So we keep adding cool things to the download, but we don't have a
Yeah.
way yet where it can be like a buffet that you choose with the download. We want to work on that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and that, it's definitely top of the list is working with the launcher team. You know, we've already selective downloads is definitely high on there. I mentioned some of the marketplace features as well. We want to continue adding more and more features to that launcher so it becomes more useful as a tool, as an extension of the editor as well, right?
Yep, definitely.
Like recently I asked the guys to put a link into the latest release notes right there, and also a link to the GitHub depot or repo, sorry. Yeah, repo, right?
Repo.
Okay. And so yeah, more of that stuff that we can just integrate into there, and then more project management tools as well. That's one thing we've been trying to figure out is we've got the whole vault in the library, and there's a version. It sort of works, but we're not happy with it yet. I think it was a great first version out there.
Yep.
But we're having active discussions on that kind of stuff as
Yeah,
well.
I like that the launcher helps you manage your different engine versions because it's not. Sometimes you need both at once. I think that we did a good job of that part. It's just a little bit of work still to make the usability.
Yeah, actually trying to create more work for Chance too by introducing the community tab really. We talked about maybe replacing the news tab with something that just is a better format for combination of showcasing community projects and things like game jams and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
so the first motivation with that was that Ray was like, you don't do anything, so
I know.
figure out
All I
Yeah.
do is see you
Make
sitting
yourself
around all
useful.
day.
yeah, what we should figure out a way to fill up your time. It's like, yeah, that's good. Let's go to lunch over this. Now, so yeah, we're launching
One
this.
infamous 6-hour Chance lunches, yes.
Yeah. Oh, you know the ones. They're the best.
And this is why things are coming in hot for GDC. You know?
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, hey, gotta eat, right?
Yeah.
Now, yeah, the cool thing about the community tab is we're hoping that it can be a way for us to, solve a couple of problems for you guys and have provide a couple services for you as well. So there'll be, cool new stuff that you guys are doing highlighted in that place that, everybody can kind of see. So there's so many people open the launcher every day. It's just where they go to,
Yeah,
get an
well,
engine.
and it's one thing you'll see us continue to iterate on the website as well. Is we started with the barrier. Here's a blog roll, and it's served us well for now. But we're going to continue to add more and more things because. And especially as we learn like what's useful for us to provide back to the community.
Yeah,
right?
and I think that's what's cool too. Is like, we know we have a void in a number of places to help you guys get visibility on the cool things that you're doing, as well as some support issues too. We're gonna surface some Answer Hub or forum threads that we think are really interesting up there as well.
Yep.
But with the Learn tab, it was one of those things. It's already taken a couple of small iterations to that. We hope that's been a really great resource for you guys. And this will be the same thing we put out there. We want to take feedback, see what is important to you, try to work that in, so we can make sure that we're actually providing not just a product that you have to use, but it's a service that you actually find value in.
Cool.
Okay. Sorry, that was a long way to say HTML5, but so we have we have WebGL in 4.7. It's still a little bit beta, but it's looking
working?
it's great, and we want feedback. Please try it out. Put your game on the web. It's a great way to share work in progress. I find it really fun.
Yeah, and we'll continue to work closely with Mozilla and the teams there. I know like compile times continue to improve all that good stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah, compile times are, especially if you have a code project,
Not the greatest yet.
They're a little rough the first time,
Yep.
especially. But yeah, we're gonna keep working on it. The main problem is that the mscript and compiler does everything at the link phase. If you have a code project, we need to relink the like a monolithic Unreal Engine executable with your game code in it.
Yeah.
So that means relinking and reconverting the whole engine to JavaScript right there, kind of while you're watching a progress bar. So if we could fix it, we would. And we would need to work with Mozilla on that in the future. So, but
We've got
please
top people on it.
Top people on it. But
Okay.
it's in there. It's fun.
Cool.
I wanted to mention the project launcher real quick because this is something that we don't really talk about too much. But the project launcher is now enabled by default in 4.7. This is actually useful when you get to the point where you want to get your game up and running on different devices at the same time, or you want to organize kind of like automation testing or QA testing. Has a lot of like cool features. I don't know if we include Unreal Frontend in the binary build. I don't think we do right now.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Front end.
Never actually looked for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
don't
looked
think we
for it
do
either.
because we probably should at some point
Mhm.
and give it like a start menu shortcut and all that. But anyways, the Unreal Launcher or the
Project Launcher.
Project Launcher is
Yep.
basically Unreal Frontend built into the editor.
Okay.
But
With a much nicer UX right now.
yeah, the whole and Unreal Frontend had the same UX.
To be honest, I don't think I've seen
Yeah.
front end in 4 yet.
But yeah, specifically anytime like if
I've
you're working.
I've avoided.
Yeah. Honestly, like previous versions of the engine, none of this existed in the editor, this functionality.
Yep.
So everybody had their batch files or whatever to sort of deploy. But now we have this tool and it works really well.
Yep.
So yeah, especially if you're working on a multiplayer game or something like that, it can save you tons and tons of time, right?
Yeah, whenever you get to the point where you need like 3 clients, 1 dedicated
Yeah.
server, and you need one of them to be in the shipping configuration,
Yeah.
and then also spin off an iOS build at the same time.
Right,
Like,
right,
it's,
right.
it's that kind of stuff that you'd end up writing some crazy script to do. You now can create these nice profiles, save them out, share them with your whole team, launch the app with 1 click on all these different things at the same time. It'll
Yep.
build, it will package, it will kind of do everything for you. It wraps all of the kind of command line tools that we have.
Yeah, it's almost like a modern make script
Yeah.
kind of thing for the engine, yeah.
So the documentation still kind of, we're still working on it, but please try it out, give us feedback on that. Hopefully it's useful to you guys. It's just one of those I want to talk about because it was covered like with basically like just a short one-liner in the release notes. I didn't have time to do it
Yeah,
justice.
It's definitely an advanced workflow, I would say.
It is, yeah, but it's just useful. You just got to know it's there.
I saw there was a question. Is there a doc yet up on it, or maybe
There is
we-
a doc. I
Okay.
just think it's. I'm not
Early
quite sure if
days.
it's fully updated with all
Okay.
because we've made a
Right.
bunch of improvements just in the last month to it
Okay.
before we released it. I don't know if it's fully up to date yet.
Somebody, Lauren. Okay.
Other platform stuff. So Android is on Mac now. So
We've-
pretty much
Android
enough
is
said.
on Mac.
No,
Android
you can package your projects, your Android projects.
You
from a
didn't
Mac
hear
app.
about the Google Apple merger
There
last
was,
week?
yeah, that was really great
Like-
typo in the release notes. Jeff Wilson pointed out that you can cook Android developers on Mac.
That was,
It's like,
that was
yeah.
my bad.
Not responsible for overheating.
Cook and
Yeah.
deploy all Android
Right.
developers.
No, but the really cool thing about it is that's like, do we have the complete set now? Like we've collected all the Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you can deploy iOS from PC or OS X and vice versa, Android.
Yep. We have
Yeah.
iOS from PC as reasonable as we can.
HTML5 from both OS X and PC.
HTML5 is only from PC 4.7.
Oh, but we do have Chromium on OS X, Linux, and PC now.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, and I think that with the advancements or the performance enhancements we've seen in Mac
Yep.
over the last couple releases and stuff. That's now you just use your platform really to develop on, right? Like so, if
Mhm.
you're an Android guy, you don't have to pick Windows. If
Yep.
you're a Mac,
Yep,
if you're a Mac
totally.
developer, you can
How about
do
that Chromebook? How are we doing on
Yeah.
that?
I don't know. Let's ask the community, right?
Yeah.
Another nice thing too, and this is really good if you're working on iOS or Android, is like we've moved all of the archaic settings that used to be in like PA list files and config
Mhm.
files. All that's in
In
project
UI
settings
now,
now. You have like a
yeah.
nice fat UI with everything that you can imagine tweaking. So it's
That's great.
just some nice improvements there to make working
Cool.
with platforms a lot more
Yeah,
fun.
quality of life.
Cool. Just talk about some of the rendering stuff in 4.7. I don't know too much about how it all works, but you saw we featured pretty prominently in the release notes, like, hey, we have the cool transmissive shader for leaves and paper.
Yep.
Pretty awesome. It should just be a material flag that you set to use the foliage lighting model. The other big thing that actually we totally forgot to showcase in the release notes was the mobile preview mode is now on by default. It's no
Mhm.
longer an experimental thing. It's now, so use that feature for, again, if you're working on iOS or Android or even HTML5. In the view dropdown at the top of the level editor in the toolbar, there's I think it's called rendering level or rendering feature level, I think it's what it's called.
Mhm. Yeah,
Kind of
you
a weird
can
name.
set it to ES or DX or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can switch, you can see what your game's going to look like
Mhm.
using the mobile rendering code path right in the editor while using the various features of the editor, which is
Yep.
just really useful. You don't have to run the standalone game.
iteration times.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working on materials and whatnot for mobile.
Yeah.
So that's all on and ready. So please try it out. It does take a little while to switch to that mode the first time while we bake all the shaders, but
Yeah.
then subsequent times it just takes like a second.
Yep.
So you can bounce back and forth. It's really nice. It's a feature we've wanted for a long time.
Yep.
Cool. What else? So Blueprint stuff I want to talk about too. I know you talked about this a bit the last time you were here,
Yep.
but like this, I feel like was kind of, I feel like the showcase feature of 4.7.
Mhm.
It's
Oh, we
was
put
it-
a lot of effort into it too.
yeah, a lot of effort, and so what we're talking about is it's kind of several features together, right? It's what we call in-world component editing, which is where you can now drop empty actors and kind of plop components on them right in the level viewport, and then blueprintable components, which lets you make before you could do this in C++, but it wasn't really an advertised workflow, but it was what you did if you needed to. Now it's a first-class feature. It's all hooked up to the editor UI.
Yeah.
It's 2 clicks to go and start creating a new component type, either in C++ or Blueprint. I think that's just, I don't know, I think it's pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean, we should break it down what it sort of means. I mean, because the component model, the idea is you have a base thing and you just kind of bolt on logic and functionality as you
Yep.
need it, and that component is a container for it. And in C++, like you said, back when we had on RailScript, the previous version of the engine, that was sort of the function, right? Is like
Yeah.
a point light really wasn't anything other than an actor with a point light component attached to it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And so now this puts us on parity. So the same thing you can do in C++ with components, you can basically do with blueprints. And Zach Parrish, I think he published a walkthrough video of what he's done with one of his game prototypes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It was just, something as simple as like explode or drop loot on death, right? Now you can blueprint a component and do that and attach it to anything,
Yeah.
and it should just work.
Once you try it out, it's really fun and empowering because you're kind of building up this kind of buffet of different features that
Yeah,
kind of
it's like a library of just cool little
Yeah. little things
miniature.
you can stack
and
onto any of your actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I find it a really good just prototyping like process of trying to component, like old school object-oriented encapsulating your logic, right? So you have just like a nice do stuff when you blow up, here's a movement kind of constraint thing, or any number of things. It's a good workflow. And the thing that I also like, it's part of this too, is it really puts like blueprints and C++, whether in the editor, they really are the same, you know what I mean? They're both at the same level, they both exist in the content browser.
Yep.
They're all one click away to your logic, right?
Yep. We still have more to do there, but
Yep.
it's much better than it was before, like the unification of the 2 languages. Actually, speaking on that, that's another thing that we did is a little bit stealthy for this release, but we're trying to kind of get our terminology straight with Blueprint, where Blueprint is the language.
Okay.
Before we just call things blueprints, like they'd be the asset in content browser after you created it. You
Yeah,
create
yeah,
a blueprint, right? And we'll probably still say that, but you'll notice throughout the editor in 4.7, it's now called a blueprint class, right?
yeah.
Because it's a type of class. The class is actually what it is that you've created there. And that was important for us to get that terminology right, because things are starting to get a little weird and confusing when we started putting C++ classes in the content browser, right? Because you have those are classes too, just as much as Blueprint. But what are they, right? So there's C++ classes and we have Blueprint classes. So the editor's been updated, and pretty much anywhere you'd see Blueprint, it shows Blueprint class. There's a few kind of weird things like with the level script and whatnot, but we're still working on that kind of stuff. So it's just about getting kind of, for example, a blueprintable component is, what we call it, but really, what is it? It's a component blueprint class. That's what it is. It's a blueprint class of the component.
I was just thinking of there were some heated discussions around level blueprint and whether that thing should persist or not. And
well, I mean, I was one of the, I was actually advocating for, do we really need level scripts, especially once we have the ability to go and, assemble actors right in your level and add logic to them very easily. I don't think we're fully decided there, but I think it's certainly true that what you can do in level script right now is really useful and convenient, and then it lets you hook all of your instances of actors up to one another in kind of a seamless way.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Zach earlier today, is like for whatever reason, all the prototypes I end up building at home are procedural. Like I'm just spawning things as procedural, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But if you're making a more scripted game, like an adventure style game, like a level, like wiring all those instances up together and your triggers and whatnot, it'd be pretty arcane without that. So I think we're going to live with it for a while.
Probably and it's certainly it would just never disappear on you, right? It would always be backwards compatible, but.
Yeah, of course.
We're always having these discussions. If Nick Whiting was on the stream, he'd have a lot to say about this stuff too. He's very passionate about, and his whole team who worked their butts off for this release, by the way, to add these features.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other important thing, I think we have absolutely crushed, knock on couch, any corruption. We had the cyclical
That's right.
dependency issue we've been hunting for a couple releases, but I mean, they went into the guts of the linker
Yep.
to refactor it to make it awesome, right?
Blueprint was too flexible for its own good. We didn't realize it until it was a little bit
Yeah.
too late.
Didn't you knock on couch about the same thing last week? I think. You
Well,
did.
I am going to knock on this couch until proven otherwise.
There's a wooden table behind you.
Okay.
Just FYI.
We jinxed ourselves a little bit because we did all the blueprint stability stuff, but at the same time we added totally new ways to use blueprints for this release. And at the the 11th
Yeah.
hour, we were troubleshooting those and getting that all smoothed out too. So
Yeah, there was a little natural tension of like, add crazy new feature. No, fix the existing features. Oh my God. But I think in the end we got to a good spot, right?
Yep.
I think it's working. Some surprises, but yeah.
Yep,
Cool.
it's pretty good. So the other thing we did is we took the blueprint editor, which before had this kind of modal 3-mode thing. And this is controversial, but
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
it was in my crosshair and other folks'
Yeah.
crosshair for a long time. We really want to do this change. It's not done yet. Every release will probably continue to improve the layout based off your feedback. And just things that we didn't get to. Like there's some things we didn't get to that we really want to. Like the way that you edit variables right now is a little bit weird, where you're plopping down variables and then you're editing the properties of the variables on the other side.
Yeah.
Careful. Apparently, I made Nick Darnell. I made the same complaint. But apparently, so the reasoning here, as I understand it, is that the process of editing, like you should be able to add your variable and edit all the things you need to do there.
That's right.
Right? And you don't need this advanced detail pane for everything.
That's right.
But
So
we're kind of in the intermediate.
We didn't have time to get to
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
It was a big change to get all this done, so but we'll
Yeah.
keep working on it.
Yeah.
I really like the unified layout because I love having the viewport
Yeah.
alongside, like a mini viewport alongside my graph. Just having that flexibility is fun.
Yeah, definitely.
We added the blueprint merge tool, diff tool.
Oh yay!
Yeah, so really useful. It's a little bit advanced because I mean it's a team feature.
Well,
but
it's as advanced as your blueprints are. How about that?
yeah, but it's for collaboration, really, right?
Yeah.
We want people to be able to edit blueprints and not have to have exclusive access to them.
So what does that look like in a like source control world? Can you use that to pull down and then
Yeah, you can
do
hook it up.
a diff between the two and then merge
Absolutely,
them
yep.
from one to the
Yep.
other?
You
That's
can
awesome.
you can invoke it from command line. So yeah, if you're diffing, in fact, like if you invoke the diffing through the editor, it will just do
Yeah.
it for you. You can just
Okay.
right click on a
Yeah.
blueprint, and if you're hooked up to source control, it'll pull down the right thing. I don't think it works with the Git plugin yet, but it works. We'll add it, but it works with the other plugins.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but it's a really neat tool.
Awesome.
Cool. Am I going too fast?
No.
No,
Okay.
we're already over time. So
Oh
you
my
can-
gosh, okay. Well, okay,
But if you guys are good, I got you guys. We can go until you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So a few other things I want to talk about. So all the C++ code's in the binary build.
Yep.
I'm so happy about that.
Well, tell people why that's cool.
It's because you can seamlessly debug and learn and step into Epic source code
Yeah.
without having to go to GitHub and build everything yourself.
And
Not
put all
that, you
the-
know,
Yeah.
that's not that hard these days, but it's really just so convenient. Like when the 4.7.1 hotfix comes out, you'll click update and you'll have all the latest code, just like that, poof. So it's just going to be really nice. And debugging is just so much more fun now. Your crash call stacks make a lot more sense because you
Yeah.
have context. You know where in the engine your code is being invoked from.
See when it like GitHub will still be
Dude.
that place where you can live on the bleeding edge. You know,
Yeah.
have pull requests into the engine, all that stuff. But this is a way that you can actually
Well-
start debugging that without having to go there to also get it right.
Well,
if you're pulling from the
I think a
binary.
lot of things too is like when you don't have symbols, a lot of call stacks. I mean, they're all blind. It could be a simple assertion, which we should still fix it, and we will, right? But oftentimes you're like, oh, I should just tweak this thing, and I can at least work around it in a moment, versus kind of leaving you hanging, you know. So
And also just not even when you crash, just when you're debugging your own code, sometimes you'll put a breakpoint and you're like,
jumping out and back in.
your post load or your or
Yeah.
like initialized component, right?
Mhm.
You had a breakpoint and then you just be like, who's calling this and like why? And it's just being able to step up the stack and see what's going on and why you're
Mhm.
being called. Like, it's just so useful. Like, I feel like it makes a huge difference.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I used the binary build all over the holiday break, and that was like the one thing I was just like, next release we have to get source code in there because it's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that we made that. And so big thanks to Ben Marsh for
Yep.
doing a lot of work to make that possible too.
Cool.
And you know we have all the code there. The code shows up in your content browser now. It's another new feature we did. Hot reload's even
That's
better.
so super
Yep.
cool.
Oh,
code
I
in-
think
code in the content browser.
Yeah, we were talking about in the future maybe having more, like, just loose files in your project in there too. So it's more becomes more of like a project file
Well,
browser.
Yeah, so you
anything
don't
you can
need-
drag and drop, like
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that. That's useful. Or,
Well, yeah, kind of eliminate the need to go ever fire up Explorer or Finder or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like it should all be accessible there if you need to tweak it.
Yeah. But so we're still discussing that. Like we're not quite sure like
Well,
what that will end up looking like. But
yeah, and then you mentioned the hot reload improved, and then we have the
hot
live
reload,
asset.
all of the things.
Yeah, all the things.
Yep. Yeah, hot reload's a lot better. Every build we make it better. This one's the best yet. It works properly, actually properly with constructors and class default objects for components, which had some issues before. It's faster than it was before too.
Cool.
Yep.
But that's one I assume we'll continue to find edge cases for a while, but just
Yep.
kind of bang them out as they're discovered.
Yeah,
right?
every release we find a few things, or the community finds some issues with it, but
Yep.
it's really useful. Like I try when I'm working at home, I try to never shut down the editor, and I'll go and
Mhm.
just work on it like that. In fact, like we've made a good number of improvements that we didn't even advertise in the release notes about just how you add code through the editor. Like if you could go and in Content Browser you can do like add new class,
Mhm.
and if you choose like actor or something, we'll give you kind of a nice source file, and we'll open Visual Studio and we'll put the new files in Visual Studio, add it to your project. You don't have to regen the project anymore. It's like, it's not really distracting and annoying like it was before in 4.7. It's just kind of like, oh, cool, it's in my project. I'm just looking at the code.
Yeah.
So we've tried to make that a lot better.
Get rid of as much of the boilerplate stuff as possible, right? So
Yep.
you just don't even have to think about it.
Yep. Auto import, another new huge feature.
Mhm.
This is another one that we were really excited to get in.
Big fan of that.
Yep. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just super convenient. So it not only auto imports anything you drop into content, but will re-import it if you save over it. So really fun for iteration. You can just stay in Photoshop or Maya and just re-export FBXs, resave your PSDs, resave your PNGs, and just see it right in the editor right away. It's pretty fun. Even if you update them while the editor's not loaded, it will pick up on that and update them right at startup. Pretty cool. I'm trying to go fast because there's so many cool things I want to talk about. It's a huge release.
I would say let's pick like two more and then we'll
Yeah,
some
do
Q&A.
some Q&A. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to skip right to 4.8 then because I've promised to talk about the 4.8 stuff. And it's
Plenty
like,
of time for 4.8.
okay. I'll do a few things.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll talk about some of the cool graphics features.
Okay.
So we have the new grass rendering system
Yep.
that Gil and those guys have been working on. So draw super optimized tons and tons of ground clutter and grass. It doesn't have to be grass. It could be ground clutter. It could be just rocks and stuff. But
Flowers.
Yep.
Rocks. Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever you name it.
Whatever you want. But it's designed to just draw crap loads of it, like lots of it. It's really, really well done, really well optimized. Works nicely with high fields. Another thing added was, and I think that this is something that we should have Ori on to talk about more, but the procedural foliage tools.
Mhm.
So we have new tools for procedurally filling huge spaces.
And,
with stuff.
and it's not just random seed, do some stuff. It's based on some logic, right, of simulating how a forest would grow.
That's
and,
right, yeah.
And seeds are dispersed and that kind of stuff. right?
Yep. Yep. But it's set up so that it sounds expensive when you say it like that, like it's this big simulation, but it's designed in quite a clever way.
Well, what we do is we create a universe.
Yeah.
We run evolution a couple billion times, quadrillion times, right?
Yeah. So it's very flexible, and it's
Yeah.
set up with this kind of tile map system. So you could have a simulation, you could re-instance that simulation in other places. So, but it's pretty cool. You can fill a lot of terrain
Yeah.
with lots of cool objects, and they look really cool. And it's fun to program. You can tweak all the settings, you click a button and kind of see the results kind of grow in front of you. So we'll have to get Ori on to talk about it. It's a fairly cool and complicated system.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll save the rest for later.
Okay.
We'll have plenty more
Well,
live streams about 4.8. It's still a ways off.
Well, I noticed some folks have been pulling the GitHub and noticed the distance field, the GI based on height fields, right?
That's right, Highfield GI.
Yeah, which Daniel Wright has been slaving away. I mean, it's still early days, but it's really promising.
Yeah, it's actually really awesome. Like it has a few limitations. So single bounce, only the landscape bounces the light, but everything receives the light. So basically, what that means is like the shadow from a huge piece of terrain or cliff on the terrain, you'll have the right kind of bounced influence of anything that's in the shadow, and it ends up making things look a lot more realistic. It takes terrain color into account, so if you paint your terrain super cool, you get all the correct bounce.
Yeah.
And it's only like 2 milliseconds render time on like
it's crazy.
a normal GPU, so it's fairly cheap. It's a really
that guy
clever,
is a wizard.
awesome, yeah, amazing. There's a few other things like on the graphics side. There's a bunch of neat stuff in 4.8. Like we have improved SSAO, so the SSAO just magically looks better. It's fuller, less hailing artifacts.
Yeah, working on a new motion blur.
New motion blur stuff,
So
new
bunch
diffuse
of-
lighting model, so just everything shades a little bit more realistically.
All kinds of fun things that
Yep.
we can talk about in the
Oh
coming
gosh,
weeks.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
cool stuff coming.
Alright.
But that's just some graphic stuff too. There's a lot of tool stuff coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
All right, so should we take
All right,
questions?
yeah, let's hop into some Q&A. So we got quite a few loaded up here. I don't know if we can take any more past this, but
DLC.
yeah.
It's interesting. It's a target
cool.
solution.
we can take this one.
So yeah, what the
So,
the,
yeah, I
quest- the-
mean-
the question is, just for people that don't see this.
Oh, right.
It's like, is this the target solution which we should be using to update it?
So they're asking, is the new downloadable content system, which is in 4.7 in beta, is this how we should patch our game? It looks like. And I think that's not really exactly what it's for. Like his example was, if I find a bug in my game, do I patch it with DLC?
No.
Not really. This is
No.
for kind of delivering bulk additional content to your game.
I guess you could structure it where a large portion of your game could use the system,
Yeah.
but I think for like bug fixes, you want to patch your executable for a
Right.
different delivery. This is more for
Yeah.
new additional content, right?
So I wondered too, does that work with mobile?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should-
no,
yeah.
it's-
So that way you
we
could.
don't discriminate. Geez.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
you're-
just saying, like, it's really important for like over the air, right? You know, if you have a large game,
Oh, yeah.
and you want to
It
be able to sell your
absolute-
game over the
You
air,
could do
it
spot
be this,
fixes.
It
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
would. It's basically a system of tools that lets you take a subsection, like an island of content for your game, and pack that up into a separate pack file. You can just drop in alongside the content that you
And
ship.
it gets plugged in automatically, discovered, and all that good stuff. right?
Yeah, probably we're oversimplifying, but
No,
yeah.
that's
No,
exactly
no,
how it
it
works.
just works.
But patching your game, because he asked like, are we gonna have a different tool for actually patching your game? Probably not, right? So like we have like the launcher. This is what we use for our thing, but
Well, yeah, I would say like every distribution platform has
Exactly.
their own patching.
Yeah.
Like if you're on Steam, you're going to want to use the
Windows
Steam
Store is
API.
gonna have its own thing. Like
yeah,
everything's
Xbox
gonna,
has it in it.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's how you patch your game executable and usually fix bugs. But you would use this to deliver the content.
that being said, yeah, I mean, if anybody is trying to patch running into this, I mean, we'd be happy to talk about it maybe on the forums or
Yep.
Answer Hub or something like that and see what we can do on the engine side to better facilitate that. But
So the next question is about demo recording.
Heck yeah.
And there's been some improvements. So he's asking about compatibility for demo files.
ooh,
Yeah.
well, that's really going to be more gated by the game itself, I would think, right?
Well, we did make a breaking. He pointed out we made a
Oh.
breaking change, and honestly, we'll probably keep making breaking
Well,
changes now and
I
then.
w- yeah, I would say we still have quite a bit of active development around this feature and some cool
Yeah.
new stuff. Hopefully, that makes it for 4.8 as well. So it may be a while before we say this is quote unquote stable.
I don't think we have any real plan to have fully backwards compatible demo files between engine versions. Like that's
Yeah. I think
by
yeah,
nature it's a little bit brittle.
Yeah.
so-
Well, until we get to a certain stabilization point, and then the project would be the thing that breaks compatibility
Right. Yeah.
potentially.
Like if you shipped a game and you stuck on an engine version, you can keep all
Yeah.
your replay files compatible as long as you want to.
Yeah.
But if you're going to take engine versions, some builds will probably break the format. Sometimes we won't. Or they're not off limits right now.
And it's conceivable in edge cases you could write a custom serializer to be able to keep some backward compatibility
Yeah,
in certain
probably.
cases, right? Yeah.
Save out a YouTube video, short version. That's the easy backwards compatibility.
Mike
Save
is
the
here to
video
help
time.
you, no matter what your problem is. Yes.
We have all these tools for saving videos from the engine.
Yeah, totally. In-game browser option for 4.7?
Maybe I
I'm
should
a
keep
bit
losing
confused
my
by that.
mouse.
Yeah.
Is that a
There you
web
go.
browser or server browser or?
I don't know.
I think.
Oh, maybe this is Chromium.
Yeah,
They're
I think that Chromium is probably what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, Chromium is in. It's in with 4.7, right? Is it still
In f-
experimental?
Don't know if it's experimental or not, but it's in there. UT is using it.
Okay.
UT uses it for their scoreboard, so it works. I don't think it works on. I think it's just desktop platforms only right now. So Mac and Windows.
In
Gotcha.
Linux?
Linux, it works
I
too?
believe so.
Okay.
I want to say Dimitri said yes.
Yep.
Okay.
But it should be usable in game. There's an S web browser Slate widget, and I think not until 4.8. 4.8 there'll be a UMG, Unreal Motion Graphics UI editor wrapper for the web browser control. I don't think that's in 4.7 yet.
That's super awesome too.
Yeah. So we'll keep improving it. You should be able to use it using Slate in 4.7 right now. Like I said, UT's already using it. You could look at the UT source code and see how they do it even. It's all out there.
Yep.
So check it out.
So there's a question here about updating content examples. I was actually having a conversation about this of it's sort of a good problem to have, but we're constantly adding all kinds of new features and whatnot. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we've had enough time to make content for all the things.
Yeah.
And then we have things like Tappy Chicken, for example, which at the time was sort of the way to ship a mobile game, right? And that was our proof point. But we've made so many more improvements and changes.
We would do it totally differently
Yeah,
now. Well, not totally, but
Yeah, so I was wondering,
Yeah, very much.
so
All that they are at the least.
yeah,
and we'd use UMG probably.
Yeah,
and Paper
exactly.
And Paper 2D,
Yeah,
yeah, we
yeah.
wouldn't, yeah.
And I know there's a thread on the forums I was reading today about monetization. Some people are interested in more ad things, all that. We actually have a bunch of plugin vendors and stuff we're working with and all that. So it's on our radar. I think that's something when we get on the other side of GDC and dust ourselves off that we'll come up with a more formalized plan there. But I would say no matter what, we are definitely always building new content, new samples, and making sure there's always those great learning resources as the new stuff is available. So, the sharing blueprint tool. I know.
What is the question?
So any news about our tool for sharing blueprints? I want to say it was Darnell did a prototype for this.
Yeah, it was blocked because we needed. I mean, this is the reason we haven't shipped it. It's because we weren't sure where to run the server and how to run the server. The implementation relied on code that was used in the launcher that isn't in the engine right now, and we weren't sure how to get it into the engine yet with the way that it's tangled up. So it ended up just kind of like getting shelved because of that. I saw the community made a cool one though.
Yeah.
So
maybe we can just collaborate with them or something. Yeah.
Yeah, or we just find a different service for hosting the snippets. But yeah, we really want to get that out. I feel bad that it got kind of on the back burner. It's a really cool feature.
It's a really nice one.
But
Nice to have.
Nick Darnell really wants it out there. I feel so bad because he implemented it, and it's really not his fault that it wasn't able to be shipped yet.
All right. What other questions we got here?
Is
Scroll down.
Is there a list of Epic employees will be at GDC? Yes.
Well,
but that's all.
Little stalker.
One exists.
There is a list.
Does it have the hotel room numbers?
There are a significant number. I mean, we got lead engineers. It's just that we've got just so much talent that's going to be there. So come by the booth. I mean, if you're interested in just about anything, there's going to be somebody there to talk to you.
Yeah, I'd say one of the primary things when we figure out staffing is like we know how valuable it can be to talk to the guy or the gal that actually wrote the code or implemented the feature, right?
Yeah.
And get that back and forth. And it's useful for us as well, right? Because it's like, oh my God, I didn't know you were using my feature that way. I'm so sorry, there will be lots of awesome Epic employees there. But yeah, we're not going to share a final list.
That was super awesome, like at EGX, though, seeing people interface like Lena and James Golding, right, about some specific, and even Nick Penwarden, things that they wrote, right? So the right person to answer those questions. So we'll definitely have a roster of a very wide variety of humans for you to interact with. So
yes, humans and robots.
The next one's about Substance. So this is kind of a funny background. So they're asking because a Substance, a branch appeared on our GitHub, and it's funny, that was reported on the forum, and Ben Marsh, who maintains the GitHub repo, was just like, what the hell is this doing here? Because we didn't add that branch. It mysteriously appeared when a user created a branch in their own fork of the engine. So, I mean, to us, it looks like a bug with GitHub, so we're going to follow up with them on it, but I mean, we just deleted the branch. There was nothing in it. So it had nothing to do with the actual Substance or Substance Designer or anything like that. It was just some weird glitch.
That plugin still works fine with UE4?
Yeah, I don't think we have anything to announce there.
The Substance plugin you can still get it from their website and stuff, and it's one of those, if we get the Code Marketplace thing, or when we get the Code to Marketplace thing for 4.8, that'll be one we'll probably see move over to that.
Yeah. Cool.
So. Let's see.
Let's skip the hardcore rendering questions.
I don't know that one. No.
Yeah. Sorry.
Question about hair shading that I don't think us three know the answer to.
No.
What, the fur one?
We could make stuff up. All right.
What else you got, Chance?
I'm
scrolling.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm working on all the computers.
Maybe we just get like one computer. Cool. Are we adding Mantle and DX12 soon? I need room for bigger maps. We have no official plans on Mantle.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Microsoft has been working on DX12 integration with UE4. Like we mentioned at GDC, they'll actually be showing you it live.
Try your game on it.
And like I said, with that, we've had other people that are on the Windows 10 beta that have said it just works.
Yeah. So fortunately, DX12 is a lot. It's one of those awesome API improvements where it doesn't really change much, but makes it all better, right?
Yeah.
It kind of gets the API out of the way.
A lot lighter weight.
Yeah, so more performance, less overhead kind of stuff, which means this should be an automatic upgrade. And we don't have a firm date of when we'll have DX12 in the main line, 4.8 or 4.9, but sometime this year, I'm sure.
I mean, I think the way that it works is you can get Microsoft approval to check it out. So if you get on the NDA for DX12, we have a branch on GitHub that you can get access to through Microsoft.
Definitely, and you can actually, apply for early access on their website. So if you go to the blog we had up there for DX12, there is a little, blip at the bottom. You can click and hop in.
Cool.
Let's see. Can you actually remove C++ created components now? Are they simply a collection now, or are they still non-edible? So yes, you can. Oh, can you remove them from an instance? No, you cannot do that. Not. That's something that we would like to do eventually, add support for that. But you can do it through C++ code, but you can't do it on an instance of an actor in your level. There's still a number of things like with this workflow that we're still like, for example, in 4.7, you can't edit the properties of Blueprint components on an instance of an actor, and that's kind of a bummer, you know. We actually had a version where you could do that, and we just didn't have time to get it polished enough before we launched. So maybe 4.8, hopefully. But like, there's a few things like that with actor component editing that it's not final. We're still it's a moving target, right? And we're going to make improvements every release.
Cool. What was the last question? Will standalone program projects ever be supported?
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing it with GitHub.
You can do it today, right?
We didn't add support in the binary version from the launcher because, you know, I just never really, wasn't a priority, right? But
maybe someday.
You could do it. Like, I mean, I have a program I wrote that was like, remember, it's a little outliner tool.
Yeah.
So I made a little tool with it before. So there's nothing in the license, I think, that prohibits you from shipping a program.
Yeah, you're totally free to do so.
Yep. If
you a little more advanced.
Yeah, it's just it's more advanced, but yeah, you could use UE4 to make just a program if you want to. Seems fine.
Yeah. All right. How about a couple more? Oh, that's interesting. What would be the best way to route crash reports using crash report on an internal server instead of Epic? Is that even feasible?
This is Michael Aller, by the way.
Good question. I don't think.
There's got to be a server URL somewhere.
Oh, there is. Yeah, in the config files, it points to the Epic server, so you could change it. But the server that we have listening to it,
we don't have the source out for that yet.
I don't think I mean, I think maybe it was a security thing. We didn't want to give it out.
Yeah. Nolan was trying to answer it in the chat, but I don't think they got to a consensus. So
yeah.
That's interesting. We should follow up on that and see if there's a way we can make something work there.
I certainly understand that it would be useful to developers to have crash reporting for their own titles.
Absolutely. Well, to be able to at least take a look and kind of see what else.
So
everybody in your team organization, right? Yeah. All right. Oh yes, my favorite. Regarding blueprints, multiple return nodes. Please God, yes. That'd be great. I don't know.
I don't know what the ETA is on that.
Oh.
You've asked for that a lot of times.
Not soon enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of my last OCD things.
It's interesting though, because like if you have multiple return nodes in a blueprint, then you're just chasing impulses down, and the first one that hits just kills everything else.
Why you gotta tell me how I make my blueprints?
I want to return all of the things.
Yeah.
Right.
So the thing, like generally most functions that I write are like return A or B kind of thing, right? And that's super awkward to do right now. And
you have to use a select node.
Yeah. It's kind of basically, I end up creating like a local variable and setting it, and it's gross. It just doesn't make you feel good. I could have 2 return nodes. It'd be amazing, okay? Because see, Blueprint for me is not just about making logic; it's about the flow. It's about it just it's elegant, and then you, all the goodness. Okay, cool. Any more? This is the serious question here. No, that was a serious question, but
no, I think that's kind of where we currently are. We're
debugging for Blueprint construction scripts. You can debug them now. Usually, I do it by accident, and it drives me insane. Yes. Oh, they're not working. I swear I've had breakpoints, and that maybe it's a regression or something there. So.
Yeah, I think they work.
It should be working. So if it's not working, it's a regression.
In construction.
Because I've definitely triggered breakpoints by constructing scripts, and they get fired like 10,000 times.
So breakpoints make sense, Because when they drop in your level, they fire. I can't.
Anytime you do anything, as far as I can tell, a construction script gets
fired.
Called.
Yeah.
I don't know about the decal channel one. We have to get the graphics guys to. It sounds like a useful feature though.
Yeah, maybe we should queue up a rendering stream next month.
Yeah.
Get those guys back.
It's not a bad idea, especially since a lot of things have changed or have been added. Like get maybe. Pin Warden and maybe Daniel in here.
I think those guys are going to be like sleeping next week, like all week.
So next week GDC, the week after that's Leap. So I mean, we got some time. We'll give them a break.
Those guys are tired.
All right, so
all right, let's do our recap and call it a day.
All right, so full recap. So you want me to go over everything? I'm just kidding. So
you got an hour. Go.
Yeah, great. No, thanks for hanging out with us again, guys. Reminder: next week we are going to be at GDC for the entirety of it, so no streams from the office. However, we have a lot of stuff coming across the channel. So does UT. UT's got their stream on Wednesday the same way.
There's going to be like, cumulatively at least like 10, 15 hours of streamable content next week?
There's going to be
a lot going on.
A significant amount of content rolling
And
across.
we're gonna get Mike with the GoPro, so you get live stream from Mike's head 24/7.
Yeah, the mic cam.
Yes.
No, so watch out for that. We are doing the same 2 o'clock stream like we do now, but it'll be on the floor at GEC with
From
some of
our open stage.
yeah, from our open stage with our licensees. So
Hopefully we get some hecklers, make it a little more interesting.
it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And also no training streams either, since the guys that will be giving those are going to be out there with us.
Yep.
Sorry we had to cancel again on Tuesday.
Snowpocalypse.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. But the 10th, those are both still
Yeah.
on. And yeah, I know that Tesla's going to kick off a stream here too, and I wanted to mention that Galaxy Heist, the Space Bear dev guys, are actually going to be on his thing too.
Cool.
So hop on that and check it out.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Talk
We'll
to
see you
later.
around.
Bye.